Hey guys, I'm Papa Pete, back today with another pickup video. And just recently I was down in Halifax, Nova Scotia, helping 64-Bit for Life move, so I took advantage. Him and I went out to the thrift stores, and I also went to one of my favorite spots that I just found, where I picked up some more great games for my Xbox collection. And you know what?
What?
I also picked up something very, very special for my Intellivision collection. You know I love the Intellivision games. Anyway guys, stick around. I can't wait to show you what I got.
Papa Pete, the old ass gamer. Papa Pete, the old ass gamer. If you haven't grown up by the age of 50, you don't have to.
After today's video, don't forget to check out IntellivisionCollector.com for all of your Intellivision needs. Luke's just added several homebrew titles to his inventory from some of the top homebrew developers in the Intellivision scene. That's IntellivisionCollector.com. Okay guys, like normal, I'm going to start this video off by showing you a nice craft beer, one that I've never tried before, but I picked it up while I was down in Halifax. And that is a Nine Locks Brewing Company from Dartmouth, Nova Scotia. I have had some beer on here before from Nine Locks, but this one is Frig Off East Coast IPA. And what a better title than Frig Off. So, like this beer, Frig Off. Let's give it a go. Oh, it's got a nice hoppy smell. It says it's a hoppy beer. It is 6.7%. And I've got my Nine Locks glass here. It's got a really nice color here. See how it tastes? Oh, that is a nice hoppy beer. East Coast IPA. Frig Off from Nine Locks. 6.7%. Yeah, that's a nice strong beer. Anyway, guys, let's get to the pickups. Alright, guys, so the first couple things that I picked up are simple things that I got from 64-Bit while I was down there. He's got my habit of hoarding. He's taken, I don't know if it's a genetic trait or what, but anyway. Not quite as easy for him now in an apartment as it was when he lived here. We had a little bit more space, so he's got a lot of stuff that he's picked up down there. That's part of the reason we did the merger. A lot of the collection came into my collection. We basically have one collection together. It stays here, and by the time I'm done with it, I mean, it's all going to go to him anyway. But in the meantime, he had a couple things which he gave me. He said, I'm going to get rid of it if you don't want it. It's stuff he didn't really want. And the first thing I'm going to show you, 2 hours of adventure. It is the Mario Mega Mix cartoon of the adventures of Super Mario 3, Super Mario World, and finally the Super Mario Brothers Super Show. So kind of a neat little disc. Of course, the insert, the disc looks in really good shape. Just a neat collectible. Am I going to watch it? Maybe. You never know. I might put it on and watch sometime. And the other thing he gave me, which I did think was really neat, was a case, a little backpack style case for a Nintendo handheld. Mario on the front, and to be quite honest, I was in the market for a case for my Switch. Now, the Switch doesn't fit in there when it's all assembled, but I could take the controls off, and the screen fits in there nicely with the controls in front. So it actually worked out really well, because I didn't have a case when I went down there. I had taken my Switch with me, and it fit quite well. Now, the next stop that 64-Bit and I did while we were down in Halifax was at Value Village. I've talked about Value Village in some of my videos before. It's kind of like Goodwill. It actually is a for-profit organization, but you could take things there to donate them, and a certain percent of the profits goes to charity or whatever. I don't know. There's a big dispute over that, but anyway, it's basically the biggest thrift store in this part of Atlantic Canada. It matches Goodwill. So we were in there looking for games, and I didn't have a whole lot of luck there recently, but this time when I went in, I found a couple things. And the first thing I found, I don't know, for $3 or $4, it didn't have a back, but I got an Xbox 360 controller, and it's one of the red ones. And the reason I specifically wanted this one, it doesn't have a back, unfortunately. I really wish it did. It came with one of those battery packs, rechargeables, but I didn't have the system to charge it. Anyway, I have the Resident Evil 6 Special Edition of the Xbox 360, so this is the same controller that came with it, so I was really happy to pick it up. I've got one of these now with the back, so if I can pick up a back somewhere, that's great. Nice little controller. Love that red. Now, speaking of red, the next thing that I picked up was something that I don't normally see there. I looked online, and they go for quite a bit if they're working. I could check it out. Now, this didn't come with any cords, any controllers, anything at all like that, but I did pick up a red Wii Mini. So I was pretty happy to pick this up. Mechanically, it works fine. I see no obvious problems with it. It just got thrown off of Goodwill, and I got it for like $15. So I thought it was worth the chance. I could sell it for 50 or 60 possibly, or maybe just add it to my collection if I could pick up some other parts for it. Anyway, really happy to add that to my collection. Now, the last thing I picked up at Value Village was a Xbox game to add to my collection, the Platinum Hits copy of Greg Hastings' Tournament Paintball. There's two different versions of this game out. There's this one, Greg Hastings' Tournament Paintball, and there's also the same thing but maxed. All I have in my collection is the Greg Hastings Tournament Paintball maxed in the black box version. I didn't even have this copy in the black box version. So with it being there, complete, it's a good first-person shooter. It's got both manuals, and I say both manuals because, again, one is French, one is English. I was really happy to add this to my collection. Some of the Platinum Hits games, not specifically this one, actually go for a lot more, even though the black box versions are commons. So I thought I'd take the chance. I'm going to try to get all the Platinum Hits versions eventually, so I grabbed that one while I could. Greg Hastings, Tournament Paintball. Now, after the thing was all said and done, I went to come home that day, but I made one stop before I left. And that was at the place I just found. I talked about it in a video a couple weeks ago. And that is the Deck Box in downtown Halifax, Nova Scotia. I knew there had been a few games there for the Xbox that I needed for my collection, but I hadn't picked up because I didn't want to spend too much money while I was there the first time. I spent enough as it was, so I went back looking for some more games. Well, the first game I picked up is I had never had this copy. It's NFL Blitz 2002. It's got Charles Woodson on the cover. So, really happy to add this. I love the NFL Blitz series, especially the earlier games. I had it back for the PlayStation. I also had it on the Dreamcast. I don't think I've ever played this version of the game. I do remember playing it in the arcade as well. But anyway, it's the original case too because it's got the NFL logo on it. One thing I want to say is a little thing about different stores. I love the Deck Box because it has great games to pick from. But their price tags, which they put right up in here, are terrible. I would think that any gaming store or any store that sells collectibles would use special care to put stickers on their products, price stickers, that can be easily removable because obviously people want to collect the games and want to remove those stickers. Well, the ones for this, the ones the Deck Box use aren't very good. They always leave residue, but luckily this did clean up quite well with some what do you call it? Goo Gone, that's it. Some Goo Gone. I always keep a bottle right there because you never know when you have to clean up a case. Anyway, NFL Blitz 2002. Very happy to add that one to my collection. The next game is a game that's really well known. I can remember being in the arcades back in the late 80s, early 90s, and it was really revolutionary at the time. I love that word revolutionary, but it was because it was one of the very first Laserdisc games. And of course it was very popular, so they wanted to put it on the different consoles. For the NES, it was notoriously terrible. There you go. So the NES, so it was obviously the late 80s. But it was notoriously terrible. I've not played this version. I have played like Sega CD versions and such because it can mimic that Laserdisc type of game. But I picked up Dragon's Lair 3D, The Return to the Lair. Now, the graphics look pretty good on it. I'm sure it's not the same exactly as the Laserdisc version by any stretch, but it's a different type of game set in that universe. I know the Don Bluth animated graphics were absolutely fabulous back in the day between this one and Space 8. They were just a lot of fun to watch. It used to be really enjoyable. I wasn't very good at the game, but I could stand behind the people in the arcade and watch them play it all day long. Anyhow, very happy to add this game because you don't see it very often. The software that I use says it's quite rare, but I picked up this one, I think it was $15 Canadian, so really not that bad of a price. And finally, I have that one in my collection. Great addition. So the last game I picked up in the Deck Box is a game that I've been looking for a long time. I've had some conversations. My buddy OEB Pete out in Vancouver just recently picked it up for a great price. And we were talking about it because he thought there was another one there, but it wasn't one there. He was going to pick it up and send it out to me. But things didn't work out. I just don't see this game around very often. Now, if you listen real closely to my last video of my Deck Box pickups, I mentioned that it was there at the time, but it wasn't as good of a price as Pete got it. That being said, it was still there this time, so while it was there, I took advantage and I grabbed it. And that is Spike Out Battle Street. I can remember having a conversation with Dan from the Rebel Gaming Club a couple years ago now when he was doing a little bit of Xbox stuff, and he was saying how he thought this was going to be an up-and-coming game, this game that he never sees around, and he thinks is really going to be valuable someday. Well, it's gone up a lot since then. It's doubled or tripled in price since then. So I got this one for $40, and I was really happy to do so. Spike Out Battle Street is sort of as a combination fighter and adventure action game. Because you do run through levels, but at the same time, a lot of it's like a fighting game. So, really anxious to try this out. There's a great video out there that OEB put out with gameplay from it, the first level. So, that really whet my appetite, and when I saw that, and I knew it was there at the deck box, I had to finally get it for my collection. One more of the top level games off my list. Right on. Now, my last pickup is something very, very special for my Intellivision collection. I got this from Luke at Intellivisioncollector.com, and it's something that I looked at it, and I really wanted it, and I was so happy to be able to get it from him. He has more for sale on his site right now. Now, here it is, and normally when I go to unbox something like this, I flip it over to a little bit of video up in the corner from the Rebel Gaming Club, these guys here. But I couldn't wait when I got this one, so I've already opened it. So I still would like to show a little bit of retro Rebel Gaming Club on this video. So let's just go and flip over to one of their songs. I think I'm going to give you, I'll give you 10 seconds, 15 seconds before. I'm going to give you the complete version of Platformer. Stick around and we'll be back with my pickup from Intellivision Collector.
Hi everyone, I'm Yase again.
Hey Yase!
I love you! Hey. Anyway, so yeah, this next song is called Platformer. For those of you who aren't familiar with video games, a platformer game is where you jump on platforms, and it's called a platformer. So that's what this song's going to be about. It's really deep, and we're going to get right into it here. Run, jump, platformer. Step on the bad guys, that's what you do. To set up princess all the world. Run, jump, platformer. And do it up all day and night. Never running left, always running right. You're pretty baby. Platform and you run. And you jump. Platform and you run. Platform and you jump. Platform and you jump. Platform and you run. Platform and you run again and you jump. Platform and you run. And you jump. Platform and you run. And you jump. That's all you ever fucking do. Run, jump, platformer. You've come to a point you don't know what to do. Oh, fuck this. This is one of those puzzle games. I'm not playing that shit. Take that shit out. Run, jump, platformer. Putting another game, you'll be okay. Keep running right till the end of the day, you pretty baby. Platform and you run, platform and you jump, platform and you run, platform and you jump, platform right to bar, platform and you run, platform and you run, platform and you jump, platform and you run, platform and you jump, platform and you run, platform and you jump. It's all you ever fucking do. Thank you.
I love that song and that video. I'm so happy to have that concert video from 2 years ago down at Too Many Games. And you know what?
What?
Yase Asha does a great job on that video. So, man, gotta love it. Anyway, let's get on to my pickup. So, it's not going to take me much to open this one. What I got from Intellivision Collector, and you can get one too, is a homebrew copy of GoSub. In GoSub, you navigate an underwater labyrinth with your submarine, trying to find buried treasure. I won't say it's like a Pac-Man, but it's a labyrinth maze type game. And there's all kinds of different mazes to explore, different zones to explore with all kinds of different undersea creatures. And it's just a great homebrew, and I really am enjoying more and more the homebrew scene for the original Intellivision. So listen, once again, this came from IntellivisionCollector.com, and you can pick up your copy today. And as time goes on, Luke's getting more and more different homebrews for the Intellivision system in his store. So check it out for sure. Go to IntellivisionCollector.com and see all the new things that Luke has for sale. It's the perfect spot to go for anything for your television collection needs. Well, guys, that's it for pickups for this week. I didn't know if I'd have too many pickups real soon because I hadn't had any real opportunity to pick up some games. We've been very busy and stuff, but just luck of the draw. Went down to Halifax for a couple days, picked up a couple great games, fabulous games for my Xbox collection, and almost forgot one there. The one I got at Value Village. Got a system, and how does it get any better than homebrew games for the Intellivision? I just simply love them. Anyway, guys, don't forget to hit like, comment, subscribe. Thank you very much for spending a little bit of time with me today, and we'll see you next time when I get some more pickups, because, like I said before, I undoubtedly will get some more pickups. Take care.
Papa Pete, the old ass gamer. Papa Pete, the old ass gamer. If you have
You're watching Papa Pete, the old guy gamer.
what the hell?
What I picked up was one of these red Wii Mini.